What's up, everybody? Sammy Paley here, episode 25 of Awaken Your Potential. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And I figured, today's my first podcast episode, my first interview on here. I try to keep the interviews informal, but to stay kind of within the realm of how to awaken your potential, I try to bring on people who have kind of gone through the steps to get you there, or people who are going through similar journeys. And little bit of a sneak peek is that lots of people actually don't know what they're going through. They never actually fully figure it out. People think, at this one age you'll figure it out, but that's just not the case. But today's episode, I have a very special guest. She is an adventurous lady. She's actually only 29 years old. And I figured since she's the first person who I've ever met in my life, and someone who's always supportive, she'll probably be the first one to comment on this video. Probably will be someone to share this video. I welcome you now, my mom. And she's the undisputed greatest mom ever. No bias here at all. Tracy Paley, welcome to the first episode with a guest in it. How are you doing?
I'm excited to be the first guest.
Yeah.
Sammy Sam.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I don't know if I've ever interviewed you before, so this will be a first.
This will be fun.
Bunch of firsts. I don't know how to podcast. You have never been on a podcast,
Never.
right?
No.
No?
No.
Well, we're going to learn together. So, truthfully, right below the camera, we have all our questions there. So, I'm going to act like way smarter, but obviously I just want to tell you what's happening. So, let's kick this one off with a doozy. Walk us through your career in your very quick 29-year life.
29 years.
Yeah, I'm 22, by the way, so you can do the math there for yourself.
Walk me through, you want me to walk you through my career?
Yeah.
How far back do you want me to go?
To the beginning.
To the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, I started my career back in the late 80s, early 90s.
This is filmed in 2010, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, 29 years. I went to the University of Calgary for a couple years where I was going to become a teacher, and then I changed my mind. Then I went to SAIT, where I became a dental assistant, and I held that career for 25 years while I raised you and your brother, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I was asked if I would like to take on a role at the Kananaskis Country Golf Course as the manager of reservations and events. And that was back in 2017. And so I decided to, jump out of the box of dentistry, come on over to the golf course where it's been amazing. I've learned a lot. It's kind of taken me out of my comfort zone, which I feel...
Is that something that you've always had an interest in, the golf course?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I've always helped your dad out with the pro shop and buying...
He's 30, by the way. He's 30.
I helped Dad with the clothing lines, buying the clothing lines.
Yeah.
The golf course has definitely been a huge part of our lives forever. In fact, that's kind of what you've only ever known. Yeah.
Well, and actually, you started at the golf course before you were even in dentistry. Like, you lived out here before I lived out here. We're in Kananaskis, Rocky Mountains. It's a beautiful spot out here, but you lived here before I was even a thought.
Yeah. So, you really want me to go that far back?
Yeah.
So,
back to when you...
Yeah. I actually worked at Fortress Mountain Ski Hill. I was a waitress there, and I worked at the Kananaskis Country Golf Course. I worked in the snack shacks. I was a breakfast waitress for a while. I worked in the lounge. I worked in almost every department at that golf course. I've even helped out on turf care occasionally. If they need some help, I'll go out and shovel some greens if they need snow off there or whatever. So yeah, I worked in a lot of departments at that golf course.
And you didn't expect to come back out here, right? Like, that was just kind of random?
Very random, yeah.
Yeah.
Once I left, I graduated here. I went to Calgary, went to school. And then...
you went to SAIT?
I went to SAIT.
Yeah.
SAIT is where I got my dentistry.
Your dentistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I actually met your dad in 1995. And
wow. Did he have this haircut, the mullet?
Yeah, he did have a mullet. Yeah. It was kind of all the rage back then. So yeah, everyone had the mullet. So yeah, your dad had the mullet. And yeah, we got married, and then lo and behold, he was offered the position out here as the head pro. And so we came back, and we've been living in Kananaskis since 1998.
Yeah, and I think that
Yeah.
you had a quote when you told me that you can never connect the dots going forward, only going back. And it's amazing how the story kind of all went full circle. How you started here, you grew up here, your parents had a gas station.
Yep.
And then you just are now back here as the manager of reservations and sales, and you love to adventure and hike. So, and you're big into yoga too. So do you want to tell us about, like, are you doing any instructing with yoga or anything like that?
Yeah, so in the spring, I became a yoga instructor. I hadn't planned on becoming a yoga teacher. I was taking a yoga teacher training just sort of as self-exploration, and loved it. And so Monday nights at the golf course, I have been teaching yoga to the staff, and it has been incredible, and I love it.
Do you think that's kind of your passion, or what would be the thing you're most passionate about?
Yeah, I would say the whole yoga community. Yeah, I love it. It's
Yeah.
I think I've grown a lot from it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could go back, have you always been into yoga?
Yes, I feel like I've been practicing yoga since before yoga was cool. And so I've been doing a yoga practice for myself ever since you were born, little. Yeah.
Were you like a kid doing yoga, or
Nope.
did you get into it later?
Later. I got into it late. Yeah. Didn't do yoga as a little girl.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. So you got into it kind of when I was younger.
When you were little. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got into it like when I was like 20 probably.
Yeah.
Bruh.
But yeah, if you could go back to, let's say, my age, so back to 22, so
Yeah.
7 years ago. What would be the one biggest piece of advice that you would give yourself?
What I would tell my 22-year-old self?
Yeah, or to the viewers who, I mean, as you all know, this page is designed to help you see that you have a potential within yourself that you can unlock and you can tap into, and you can live a life of your dreams if you just keep showing up and you're consistent and you challenge your perspectives and ways of doing things.
Yeah.
So knowing that, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self, or even just to the viewers watching?
That's a good question. I would go back and tell my 22-year-old self that live your life to the fullest. Go out and play. Have a blast in your life, because the money will come. Your financial stability, it will come if you just work hard, play hard, live hard, just have fun. I would tell my 22-year-old self that it's all going to be awesome and great, and just enjoy life.
What do you mean by, like, have fun? What does that mean? Because fun can mean different things to different people.
Yeah. For me, fun is actually living in the outdoors. You know, I love to kayak and cross-country ski and downhill ski and hike, and of course, there's so much to do living and growing up on the mountains, so I do like to do all of it. So for me, that is fun, but you might find something else fun.
Yeah.
You know, what I find fun, you might not find fun, but just...
Yeah, because I know with Dad, like, his idea of fun is, I mean, we like to golf and do outdoorsy things and host people over and have parties and all that kind of stuff, but he loves to work too, and I feel like a lot of people don't think that's fun, but if you think that's fun and you can do that, then by all means.
Absolutely.
But I feel like your fun is like outdoorsy stuff, and a great book that she would recommend to you is called Die With Zero by Bill Perkins.
Bill Perkins, yeah,
and
great book.
The whole concept is just literally, you're not taking the money with you to the grave, and there's obviously parts on leave money for your kids and all that. but do fun things. Go on that trip. Go to that concert. Take out a loan to start that business you've always wanted to start, whatever it is. Like, die with zero. Like, spend money on things that fulfill you. And a lot of people have this saving mentality. And I think, obviously, you need to save, but you can't deprive yourself of that.
No, you definitely have to save money, but I don't know. I've always sort of thought, what do I want to remember about my life if I'm on my dying bed? And
how would you answer that?
For me, the things that would come in my mind would be all the fun I've had in my life. And some of that for sure is work. I have met many amazing people in all of my jobs over the years, in my careers and stuff. And so there has been people who have, touched my life in every job that I've done. So I would, die with zero is a really good way to live your life, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
That kind of sparked another thought, just that the idea of thinking ahead to being on your deathbed. Like, Stephen Covey, the second habit in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is called begin with the end in mind. So it basically means to go from where you are now, 29, when you're on your deathbed, what does that look like? Like, who have you seen? You're at your funeral. Like, who have you seen? Who's at your funeral? Who are the people there who have inspired you? Who you've had fun with? Like, who would be those people in that room?
Oh, wow.
And it can be anyone. It can be Keith Urban. She's a massive Keith Urban fan.
Oh my God. God bless Keith Urban.
Beautiful, beautiful human. But
who's influenced me?
No, who's in the room?
Who's in the room?
Who's at your funeral?
At my funeral.
Yeah. It doesn't have to make any sense. It can be anyone. Hypothetical, dead or alive. Who are the people who would be there? Basically, who are the most important people in your life?
Well, the 3 most important people in my life are Bob, you, and your brother Matthew.
In any order?
Remember, you're always my favorite youngest son.
Right.
And Matthew's my favorite oldest son. I had it figured out long time ago.
If they have another kid, it could be awkward. It could be awkward.
Right. Then you'd be my favorite middle kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I was to die like right now, my parents, some of my best friends in life, coworkers, my sister-in-laws, my brother-in-laws. I've been super blessed to have an incredible family, you know. Grandma Donna is amazing as my mother-in-law. I have 2 amazing sisters-in-laws.
Happy Mother's Day, Grandma.
My sister, my nephews and my nieces. I mean, my family has just filled my life with so much love over the years that, I have 3 sisters. I have brother-in-laws, nieces and nephews.
Yeah. And I think in the day-to-day life, we get so caught in the grind of working and trying to make it and trying to fulfill your career. And you work, and then you work the next day, and then you work the next day. But I think what you just touched on is what really matters. And it's the people around you. And it's the fulfillment. And it's not just about work. Obviously, there's time and place for that. But it's about just surrounding yourself with people and experiences and content and different things that just really give your life meaning, right?
Yeah. It's definitely the people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Family, friends, they're all super important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. On the topic of people, I believe you can connect with authors by reading their work, or you can connect with actors by watching them in movies.
Yeah.
To you, what is the single most impactful book in your life that you've read?
Oh.
Or what's a book that you would recommend other people to read?
Well, first of all, remember a few episodes ago, Sammy was like, if you don't read a book, are you really reading? I'm one of those people that I listen to books. So I think it's reading. Okay?
I think so too.
I do too, yeah. So some of the books that I've read over the last, call it 6 months, 2 pop in my head. Actually,
she rifles through them, by the way. She's on Audible. Audible's the best, but
yeah, I do read a lot of books. The 2 most influenced books that I would say I've taken the most out of would be, there's a book called Never Broken by Jewel. It was amazing. Like some of what she has endured in her life and
who's
how...
Jewel? I know I'm probably...
Jewel?
I don't mean to date you, but...
You can date me. Jewel is
That sounded weird.
Yeah.
I'm not going to date my mom.
No, that would be cool. No dating. Don't date me. No. Jewel is this influential singer back in the 90s, and it's right when the grunge music was coming out. But Jewel was this beautiful folk singer, kind of. Anyway, she was going against the grain because here's all this grunge music, and then there's this beautiful singer, Jewel, kind of in the mix of all of the grunge music when it was popular. But she stuck to who she was, and she, I don't know, she went down her own path and she owned it, and beautiful. It's a beautiful book. It's called Never Broken. The other book that I loved was Will Smith's book. It's just simply called Will. And he is an incredible human being. Despite everything that's just happened at the Oscars, the book Will Smith was amazing. So I would highly recommend Never Broken and Will. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's so many. I could go on forever.
I briefly want to touch on the Will Smith thing, because it's easy to dismiss him now that he obviously you can't do what he did.
Yeah.
But to discredit him with all of the books or all the movies and the influence he's had on people, I just feel like it's too easy to dismiss people based off their one mistake, or that was just the pebble of all the stress bubbling to the surface. And obviously, like, I just try to see it through his lens and the stress he's endured and being famous and just always needing to perform and outdo himself. And I know he'll be back making movies, but I just really hope that people can kind of empathize with him.
Well, and in the book, if you remember, he was that protector of his family.
100%.
And so... here's a man who he started off as a rapper, and then he went into a TV sitcom, and then he went into movies. Like, the guy is, everything he touches almost turns to gold. So pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any books outside of, you mentioned Jewel and Will Smith, do you have any books outside of biographies that you would recommend?
Well, there is one book that I love, and it kind of stems on my love for yoga, and it's actually called The Yamas and the Niyamas. It sounds really weird. The title would scare you away, but when you actually open this book, it's such real life situations and how you live your life. It's very, very thought-provoking, this book, and it's a bit of a deep dive into your life. And so that book I love, and I would read it again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually haven't read that one, but
you should. You would love it.
I'll add it to my reading list.
Yeah, and then when you do another podcast, I'll come on and we'll talk about that book.
Yeah, we could do a deep dive summary on it.
Right? I love it.
Let me know if you'd like to see summaries of books, or if you enjoy having guests on here. I feel like it's great to just not hear me blabber and talk all the time, but to hear the perspectives of people who have awoken their potential and people who are going through that. Well, happy Mother's Day to all of you watching out there. Please make sure to reach out to your mom. If you're a mom, thank you for tuning in today or the day after or in a year. You can watch this whenever. But it is Mother's Day tomorrow. It always trips me out. It's not Mother's Day today, but this is, you know what?
It's going to be Mother's Day when everybody sees this.
Yeah, but it might not be if they watch it.
I know.
Forget it.
Happy Mother's Day to all of the beautiful women out there. Yeah. Have a wonderful day.
All right.
And I'm going to be spending Mother's Day with my 2 great sons and my husband and my own mom. And so, and my dad. I'm excited. It's going to be a wonderful day.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome. She has Mother's Day and her birthday in a week. So it's kind of like a kid who has their they have their birthday on Christmas, you know, it's kind of lumped into one. You don't really get to spread it out. So
Yeah, it's too great.
Ken and Judy weren't thinking about that when they had the angel send her down from heaven, because that's obviously how it works. But thank you for being here. I'll see you all very soon. And Mom, as the first podcast guest,
yes,
a tradition we have here is we've put a paperclip in here to kind of track the progress. I'm a big advocate for showing up and being consistent and doing the work. This is how many we have now. You can probably not even see those that much, but as the first guest, you have the honor of putting it in there.
First of all, I want to say, super proud of this guy. He is just killing it with AYP. I am by far his number one fan, and I will probably be the first commenter on this. Is that what you said I was?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing a great job. Please subscribe below. Is that what I say?
Yeah.
Please subscribe below.
Yeah. And share it to your feeds if you think other moms or other people can get impact from this and awaken their potential as well. So
here's to episode number 25.
Yeah, hopefully the camera can see it.
I love it. Thanks for having me today, Sammy Sam.
Thanks for being here. We'll have to do this again.
I would love that. I love you from the bottom of my heart, sweetheart.
Gotta wipe it
Happy
off.
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.